Can I have your attention, please? So, at this moment, Ashley is going to give a presentation. So if you all can just adhere to what she has to say for this presentation.
We're so glad and thankful that you chose to spend your weekend here with us today. I know each of you sacrificed something along the way to make today happen for you and your family. So we are so thankful to spend this time today together. We look forward to the awesome stories and experiences we will share today with one another, along with making memories to look back on as well. For some of you, this isn't your first Tar Walk here in Kentucky, and for others it is. So I encourage you to meet someone new, to get out of your box, and just get comfortable. We're all here today for the same thing, and that is bringing awareness to people and the families just like each of us. At this moment, I would like to devote a few minutes of your time to acknowledge someone who may seem behind the scenes, but she is a very crucial part of our team. Someone who has been a part of TAR's awareness since the first day, when it was just a thought of when, where, and how. Morgan Robinson. Come on. Morgan has devoted herself, her family, and her time shedding light on TAR's community. And we're so thankful for that. She's a strong pillar of this nonprofit group and dedicates her knowledge and skills to improving it on a regular basis. While this group is made up of a large amount of people, we would love to recognize each of you. Firstly, we want to begin today with Morgan. Morgan recently lost a crucial person in her life, and her TAR's family was there for her to encourage her during that time. But however, today we want to publicly show her what she means to the TAR awareness of Kentucky. So here's a gift on our behalf. Tommy has something. Thank you for your time, your love, your encouragement you've shown to each of us here. From your kindness, words of affirmation, and acts of love, your devotion is never overlooked, and we are so thankful for you. So next up, we will begin hearing from our wonderful speakers for this year's TAR Awareness of Kentucky 2025.
So for those of you that do not know, Morgan lost her mother at the end of February, and Morgan was still going strong for us and with us, so we wanted to dedicate something special to her for her service. So at this time, I'm going to introduce our speaker, our first speaker. She is no stranger to some, but she may be to others. At this time, our first speaker will be Caitlin Spangru. Caitlin is all the way from Minnesota. She is a lawyer, and she is one of the OGs of the TAR syndrome community. So Caitlin at this time.
Thank you all so much. So I was told that I've got 10 minutes, so I used it. So buckle up. My name is Caitlin Spangru. I'm 32 years old. I'm from Alexandria, Minnesota, and I'm an attorney. I practice employment law and municipal prosecution. My TAR syndrome story is a little unique in that up until around 4 years ago, I didn't know that I had TAR syndrome. Growing up, I knew that I had short arms and that, yes, honey? More the mic? Okay, thank you. He's always there for me. So growing up, I knew that I had short arms and that I was missing the radius bone. But I didn't really think much past that. You see, my grandma also had short arms just like me. So I just thought it was a hereditary limb difference. And up until 2022, I had never met anyone else who looked like me. So with that framework in mind, I learned to navigate the world just like any other kid. To be honest, I don't remember much about the obstacles I faced as a young child. I think the reason for this is because I don't remember being treated like the challenges I faced in life were any bigger than the challenges other kids faced. While the challenges I faced were unique to me, I was never made to feel like they were any more significant than the challenges that other kids faced. And whenever something came up, we dealt with it. Whether it was lowering the coat hangers in my locker, installing automatic sinks in the bathroom at school, having a split keyboard in the computer lab for typing, or having an extra set of books in the classroom. Of course, growing up, we always said, I did things the Caitlin way. Even though I don't remember much about those challenges, I do remember being told that I could do anything if I put my mind to it, that I'm a good friend, that I'm kind, smart, outgoing, determined, and a great advocate for myself. These positive affirmations from those around me are what I remember about my childhood, to the point of drowning out the noise of whatever obstacles I faced. Between the ages of 4 and 16, I was on a competitive dance team. It built up my confidence in front of an audience, fostered amazing friendships, taught me how to keep time and memorize a routine. More importantly, I was thrust onto a stage for hundreds of people to see me, and that exposure to my community made them less awkward around me and more curious, open, and supportive of my differences. This growing confidence was just what I needed to keep up with my 6 cousins, who are the closest people I have to siblings, and they never gave me special treatment, and they still don't. To the contrary, every family gathering would open with a game of guess who's taller, and I always lost. They buried me in the sand at our family cabin, put a large inner tube around me and bounced on it without any concern for my safety. And they will also never let me live down the one time I gave our grandparents a Christmas gift, which could have easily been a group gift, and instead I personalized it with the words, "Love Caitlin." Ever since, we have actively competed to be named the favorite grandchild. I've always been really competitive, so much so that when someone openly doubts my ability to do something, I make it my mission to prove not only that I can do it, but I can do it better than them. A prime example of this was when I decided to join my high school cheerleading squad in the 9th grade. I wanted so badly to be a flyer on the top of the pyramid, so I sought the advice of the current head flyer on the squad to see if she would teach me. She looked at me dead in the eye and told me that in order to fly, I would need to be able to catch myself if I fell, so therefore I shouldn't even try. I will never forget those words. So since she was clearly no help, I went to the cheer coach to see if there was any way I could fly despite this technicality. She told me that in order for me to fly, we would need to make sure I never fell. She said that if I built up enough core strength to keep myself steady on top of the pyramid, she would let me fly. That summer, I enlisted my mom to do an 8-minute ab workout with me every day, which we continued for about 200 days in a row. And when I returned to cheerleading in the fall, I demonstrated my core strength and was promoted to head flyer for the next 3 years. The other girl quit. After high school, I attended the University of South Dakota and received a Bachelor of Arts in Criminal Justice and Philosophy with a minor in Communication Studies. While in college, I dabbled with being a news anchor for the university news station and was active on the college mock trial team, helping lead the team to the national championship tournament for the first time in over 25 years. I then received my law degree from Mitchell-Hamline School of Law in St. Paul, Minnesota. While in law school, I continued with my love for mock trial, and I also met the love of my life on Tinder. We dated for only 9 months before getting engaged, which now seems crazy, and we were married in 2017. Now, I don't know about many of you, but I remember the exact moment in time in which I fell in love with my husband. We had been dating for a little over 2 months and decided to go bowling. I have always used my own adaptive bowling ball. It has a spring-loaded handle that you pull up, and then when you throw the ball down the lane, the handle snaps back in. pretty neat. So when we went on this date, my bowling ball was on its last leg. I had it since the 6th grade, and I believed at one point the handle broke and had been super glued back together. This ball was getting so old that it was nearly impossible for me to lift up the handle every time it was my turn to bowl. So embarrassingly, I asked Eric to do it every time. And it was so sticky, he had to use a pen to pry it up. After the game ended, I was so embarrassed, and I was completely convinced that he was going to dump me because of how needy I was, and there was no way he wanted to spend his life with someone like me. I sheepishly asked if he wanted to play another game, and his response was, well, the pen's working, so I say we play another game. It was in that moment I realized that he didn't care about constantly needing to help me, that he wasn't embarrassed, and had accepted me, and had shown no signs of running away. In 2020, we were bored, so like many others, we thought maybe it was time to have a kid. I got pregnant and miscarried twice pretty early on. An ultrasound tech informed me that I had a split uterus, so I followed up with my OB and found out that I had a uterine septum, which I now know is also associated with TAR syndrome. During that time, I was going down two paths. First, to remove the septum, and second, to do genetic testing to see if my genetics was causing my miscarriages. It was during that genetic testing I learned about TAR syndrome. This little piece of knowledge unlocked a community of new friends and a support system I never could have imagined. Eric and I now have 2 boys, Lucas, 3.5, and Callan is 1. They do not have TAR syndrome but are carriers. I know that as they get older, they will have questions. In the meantime, it is important to me that they meet other people who look like me and are exposed to others. Last page, I promise. With limb differences in furtherance of raising awareness and being inclusive and accepting of others. The latest stop in my TAR syndrome journey is a hip replacement I had in November of 2024. I was in chronic pain for around 3 years leading up to this, and I have never been so grateful to be pain-free. 7 months ago, I couldn't even imagine what it felt like not to be in pain, and it was affecting my relationship with my family, my husband, my kids, and myself. For anyone who is in so much pain that they are at the point of even considering a joint replacement, do it. I wish I would have done it sooner, and it makes me feel sad to think of all the moments in the early days of my kids that I wasn't fully present. Now, I have yet to talk about my parents, and the reason for this is because it is impossible to put into words how incredibly lucky I am. For 32 years, they have been my biggest cheerleaders, never doubting any of my ambitions, and instead following my lead and supporting me however they could. My mom was an in-home daycare provider, so I didn't have to go to a strange daycare as a child. She then worked at the middle school as a para while I was in middle school and chaperoned my class trip to Washington, D.C. while I was in a fixed-her cast after having surgery to straighten and lengthen my arms. When I was 9, my parents stayed up all night painting a stupid cardboard DIY love shack that I used as a prop in our local county fair lip sync contest, which I tied for first, by the way. After I had double hip surgery when I was 12, I was in a full body cast from the waist down, and every day my dad carried me from my bedroom to the giant beanbag chair I lived in for an entire summer. I could say a lot of things about that summer, including how my mom slept on the floor of my bedroom several nights in case I needed anything, and constantly told me that she wished she could trade places with me to take away the pain I was in. They attended every dance recital competition, band and choir concert, attended speech meets, and cheered for me cheering on our high school sports teams. My mom made and proudly displayed a giant poster board so I could find where they were sitting when I walked to my college graduation. And they followed me through college and law school mock trial as self-proclaimed mock trial roadies. Of course, they're here today. And also my 2 aunts are here today, and they surprised me by driving all the way here from Minnesota, which is really a testament to how supportive my family is. So I used to think my parents were stalking me a little bit, and I'm convinced they are only half kidding about purchasing a lot in the same neighborhood Eric and I plan to build in the next few years. Eric always tells me that I dream big, and sometimes it scares him how big my ambitions are for our life, and he has my parents to thank for that. For the parents of kiddos with TAR syndrome here today, my biggest piece of advice would be to provide those building blocks of confidence that they will need to be successful in anything they can imagine. to let them lead the way and follow them in support. Drown out the noise of judgment with positive affirmations, love, and encouragement. If I could go back in time and talk to my younger self, I would tell her to keep pushing forward, be an advocate for yourself, and dream big. In time, all of your dreams will come true. Thank you all for being here today. I'm so grateful for this community and those behind the scenes who work so hard to make this event a success. There is so much heart that goes into this weekend, and your efforts do not go unnoticed. Thank you.
Thank you, Caitlin, for that wonderful testimony. She is one of our OGs in the Taurus community, and we appreciate you for all that you do for us. Your story is very impactful. So at this time, it's raffle time. So Morgan is getting our next raffle basket. So get your ticket out if you got tickets. If you did not get tickets and you just put your name in the basket, just keep your ears open. And she's leaving at this moment, but I want to thank my friend Fantasia Jackson, who is thanks for that being here. Thank you. So this basket is my goddaughter. Desiree Lewis. So our next speaker is Amanda Clark. Amanda, go ahead. She's got auntie rights, y'all.
Yes.
So Amanda is from Philadelphia area, New Jersey area. Amanda Clark is a dynamic and inspiring figure whose life is a testament to resilience, faith, and the transformative power of community. Happily married to her husband, Keith Clark, for nearly a decade, Amanda is a devoted mother to 3 remarkable children, Talia, Keith Jr., and Josiah. Each day she embodies the roles of wife, mother, and student with grace, currently pursuing her Bachelor of Arts in Psychology at Liberty University, while also holding a certificate as Christian counselor. Amanda is a passionate advocate for the disability community, dedicated to educating others on how to effectively communicate with individuals with varied abilities. Her commitment to this cause is reflected in her work as a disabled model, having graced the runway at New York Fashion Week 3 consecutive times through her collaborations with major brands such as Victoria's Secret, Target, Sephora, and Tiffany & Company. Amanda has championed the integration of adaptive wear, ensuring that fashion meets the diverse needs of those within the disability community. In addition to her modeling endeavors, Amanda is a thriving entrepreneur. She leads a ministry known as the Beauty for Ashes Workshop, where she and her dedicated team provide practical and spiritual guidance for mental health seekers, both believers and non-believers alike. This initiative reflects Amanda's deep commitment to uplifting souls and fostering hope in the lives of others. Despite her many accomplishments, Amanda remains grounded and deeply grateful, attributing her success to her unwavering faith in Jesus Christ. She is a living example of how faith, perseverance, and love can create a profound impact on the world. Amanda Clark's journey is not just a story of personal achievement. It is an inspiration to all who seek to make a difference in their communities and lives of those around them. At this time, Amanda Clark.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. This is amazing. I've been surrounded by a lot of what I like to call beauty marks. But this is the first time that I'm ever around people of my specific community. So this means so much to me in another level. I just want to do something real quick, and if you guys can participate, just repeat after me, okay? Ready? I am brave. I am brave. You could do better than that. I am brave. I am brave. I am loved. I am loved. I am smart. I am smart. I am successful. I am successful. I am God's child. I am enough. Now, there was a time that I didn't believe that about myself. There was a time that I would curse God to his face and say, if you're so loving and you're so knowing, why did you create me like this? Why would you make me like this, knowing all the things that I would go through? And then I was reminded in this passage of in Exodus, where he was talking to Moses, who felt insecure about his disability of having a stuttering problem. And he felt like he wasn't going to be taken seriously. And it showed me a passage that I literally would read but walk over it. And he said to Moses, he said, who made the man mute? Who made man blind? Did not I, the Lord? And then he told him to go. And that spoke so loud to me because it showed me that God is intentional with how he creates each and every one of us. That he makes no mistakes. He's very aware of how you're created. And then I'm reminded again of another passage where it talks about the disciples walking by a man who was born blind. And he says, and they say to the teacher, they say, well, who made this man blind? Was it his sins or the sins of his parents? And Jesus looks at him and he goes, neither. He goes, he was made like this for me to get the glory. Yes. And as I look back on my own life, there is no one in my family. I even went on Ancestry.com. I promise you I did. I spent money and it was worth not even. Like, I just wasted money. But what I found out was that even in my ancestry, there was no one created like me. So I am the only one in my entire family to have this beauty mark. And so I am reminded of the man who was born blind for God's glory. And as I stand here today, we were walking around, right? And I was like, we're not just walking, we're taking territory back. We're taking back all those times that we were rejected, all those times that we were ridiculed, mocked at, that we were teased. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you feeling that? we took territory back. We took back our pride. We took our dignity back. We took those things back to let us know that we are made for a plan and a purpose. Tell them. We were made with a divine plan from the Lord that says you are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are made with a plan and a purpose, and I make no mistakes in doing that. And so we're going to say this affirmation again, but I want you to say it with your chest, because I know that the negative speaks louder than the positive, but I'm speaking loud today. All right? So everybody stand up. Come on, stand up. And let's say this with your chest, okay? Because one thing I know for sure that it took for me to, when the young lady talked about affirmations, that's what it took for me to stand right here before you today with so much pride and so much confidence in knowing that I'm not a mistake. Regardless of what people say, regardless of what they're going to do, they can't touch my confidence. Do you understand? They can touch my body, they can touch my whatever, but they can't touch my soul. Do you understand? So we're going to say this again, and we're going to say it with pure confidence. Are you ready? I am brave.
I am brave.
Woo. Okay, y'all. I am loved.
I am loved.
I am smart. I am successful. I am God's child. I am enough. Thank you.
She preached that, y'all. I am enough. We not in church, but you tell me to take me there. You got to. Because it's the God that made us for his glory. And without him, we are nothing. So to God be glorified, for he is worthy of all of our praise. Disabled, disabilities, non-disabilities, he's worthy of it all, y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Growing up as a person with a disability, it means much to hear y'all stories. It hits right here. Times when we don't share our stories. People don't know what we go through on a day-to-day basis. But it hits right here. Appreciate you. And I don't cry in front of people. I hate that. But y'all got me crying today. I don't know what God is up to, but he's up to something. And the best part about it all is we're all believers of Jesus Christ. If you're not, I encourage you to get to know him. I'm not in church, but I just got to take this opportunity to give God praise while I stand, while I live. So our next speaker, we got another speaker. She is not here. She wasn't able to make it. due to other engagements that came up. But she still wanted to show her part in being a part of this great movement. And that is Elise Bell. Elise's family has been a great asset to this movement. Connor, if you all know Connor, he is one of the young boys, there you go, shout his name, who has TAR syndrome. Elise is his mother. Their family has been gracious to us. In fact, their family is the reason why we're in this facility today, because they have given financially, been a blessing to us. So I'd not be remiss if I miss them, and we're calling them out. So we have a video. Elise sent in a video. So we're going to play that video for you.
After he was born, we went into Aguilera-Leeds TAR syndrome, and I just had a flood of emotions. I didn't know what to expect. What would it look like for him? For us, the road ahead seemed unclear, and the questions just piled up. Would he be able to do the things that other kids could do with the world behind him? Joining this community, our TAR family, and building with and learning from you all, and watching Connor grow up, we've really learned a lot about just the resilience that resides in all of us. We've learned Connor's condition of TAR syndrome doesn't define him. It certainly doesn't limit him. In fact, I think it's safe to say it's made him stronger and more determined, more capable than any of us had ever imagined. Connor is now 6. He's grown into an amazing, smart, hilarious kindergartner. He has a smile that can light up a room. Simple tasks that others take for granted that I'm sure many of us can relate to. Things like tying shoes, coloring, and playing sports have required him to adapt in ways that I couldn't have anticipated, but he always seems to do it more easily than I expect. Watching him solve problems and just approach his daily life with confidence has been really inspiring. We're not just celebrating his successes today, but just really celebrating the journey, the struggles, the fears, the moments of doubt we've all faced as a family. That's the reality of this experience. We've had moments where we've questioned whether to be able to participate in something, whether the world around him would be understanding and accommodating. We've had days where things didn't go as planned and our hearts broke a little, but what I've learned is it's okay to have those moments. It's okay to feel afraid and uncertain. The key is to never let those moments define you or your child's journey. It's important to recognize we're not alone in this. There are families all over the world facing similar challenges with different conditions, different struggles, but there's always a common thread: the love, the hope, and just the unwavering belief that our children will not just survive, but thrive. As a parent of a child with a disability, there are always moments that are difficult, but there are more than countless moments of joy and pride and awe, and that's just something we always have to hold on to. Those moments where our children teach us that they're capable of so much more than we ever thought possible. For those that are walking a similar path, potentially either early in the journey or encountering a specifically challenging moment, I just want to say you're stronger than you think. The road may feel tough and can sometimes take unexpected turns, but with each step we take, you learn, you grow, and so does your child, or yourself if it's your experience. I want to remind us that you don't have to fear the unknown. You don't have to fear the challenges that can come with having differences. You don't have to fear the scares, the questions, the moments of uncertainty. Instead, we try to embrace the unique path that lies before us and just trust that the strength and resilience that we and our children have will let them shine through. Every child is different, regardless of what the level of difference is, and that difference is what makes them special. That's always what we tell Connor and what I truly believe. So if you're other parents here today, if you're new to the journey or you've been walking for a while, just want to share the encouragement that we all, I'm sure, have, where we should embrace our children's differences and our differences with each other, celebrate any victories, no matter how small. When things get tough, just remember we've got this group and a much wider group across the world that lets us know we're not alone. We're in it together. There's just so much hope and excitement for the future. I'm going to end with a poem that one of the groups of our Facebook community had shared years ago that I discovered when Connor was a baby. He had gone through a NICU stay. He was just over 3 pounds. He came home on hospital monitors, and there was a lot of scary things about it. He was my first child, so I just felt very kind of alone and not knowing what I was encountering. The poem was called Welcome to Holland. It's by Emily Pearl Kingsley. So I'll just read that and then you guys to introduce the trip. I'm often asked to describe the experience of raising a child with a disability, to try to help people who have not shared the unique experience understand it, to imagine how it would feel. And it's like this. When you're going to have a baby, it's like planning a fabulous vacation trip to Italy. You buy a bunch of guidebooks and you make your wonderful plans. The Colosseum, the Michelangelo David, the gondolas of Venice. You might learn some handy phrases in Italian. It's all very exciting. And after several months of eager anticipation, the day finally arrives. You pack your bags and off you go. Several hours later, the plane lands and the flight attendant comes in and says, "Welcome to Holland." Holland, you say? What do you mean Holland? I signed up for Italy. I'm not supposed to be in Italy. All my life I've dreamed of going to Italy. But there's been a change in the flight plan. They've landed in Holland, and here you must stay. The important thing is that they haven't taken you to a horrible, disgusting place. It's not full of pestilence and famine and disease. It's just a different place. You must go out and buy new guidebooks. You must learn a whole new language, and you will meet a whole new group of people that you really never met. It's just a different place. It's slower paced than Italy, less flashy than Italy, but after you've been there for a while and you catch your breath, you look around and you begin to notice that Holland has windmills, Holland has tulips, Holland even has rembrandts. But everyone you know is busy coming and going from Italy. They're all bragging about what a wonderful time they had there, and for the rest of your life, you might say, yeah, that's where I was supposed to go. That's where I had planned. And the pain of that never goes away, but the loss of that dream is a significant loss. But if you spend your life mourning the fact that you didn't go to Italy, you may never be free to enjoy the very special, very lovely things about Holland. Hope you guys have a really great time at the walk. Enjoy building all the relationships. Wish we could be there. Hope we get to see a lot of you soon. Thanks so much.
She talked about something that the other speakers have talked about, being strong. That seems to be the topic of the day, to be strong. So we thank Elise, and we will get that message to her. Thanks for her willingness to speak to us today, even virtual. So at this time, we will have another raffle. So it's raffle time. right, listen up. Are you ready? Our winner is Macon Kaufman. That's so funny, y'all. He pulled his own name. Without even knowing it. So at this time, we will be having our next speaker, which he's no stranger to some, and maybe to others he is. But if you were here the very first walk, you were here to hear this next speaker. He is our mystery guest, and that is Dr. Mile. He is a professor at Penn State University, and he is helping us with TAR syndrome research. So I want you all to listen, close attention, because he's got a presentation that's going to be on the screen. So if you cannot see it, if you want to move closer, it's a very interesting presentation. So Dr. Mal at this time.
Thank you. I really be honored to be here to hear so many wonderful and inspiring stories. And 2 years ago, I joined the first TAR work. Actually, I get to know some of you. It's actually very touchy moment for me, for a scientist, actually, to work with the patients and the families. When I talked to Jalen the first time, when I contact with him through the email and the phone call, and he mentioned to me, actually he prayed so long for a research group to work on TAR syndrome. And now he got the answer, and I am also questioning. I really believe this is a moment that God put in my heart, and this is the disease I really want to solve, hopefully in my life, and to benefit everyone. So I'm here to just present some of my progress, and hopefully we can work together and to really design better therapy for TAR patient. So yes. Just a brief introduction for the TAR syndrome. Maybe you all know that, but this is a rare disease, and it's affect like 1 in 100,000 roughly in the population, and that's why it's I think this is have been neglected for a long time in the research community, and not too many research groups actually work on that. And I know the patients suffer from thrombocytopenia. That's actually lack of a platelet number. That's actually critical for the blood to clot. And if there's a small injury, that probably cause a lot of bleeding. And also it will cause a lot of fatigue, and that's probably affect everyday daily life, right? Current research, treatment like the corticosteroid and also maybe transfusion just temporarily relieve the symptoms, but not be able to fully cure these disorders. And also, I feel this is actually very important for research and the patient to communicate each other. So I am scientist, but not really doctor or whatever. I don't know the daily challenges you are facing. If we can communicate it better, and I can switch my research to focus on the big problem in your life, that will be much better than I just actually look around and think I know the disease, but that's actually not the case. So we know actually the bone development is another big problem, right? Hopefully we can actually, but that's much difficult to solve. But thrombocytopenia, we have some drug to control, but hopefully we can develop more specific drug or medicine for the TAR patients. Okay. So in order to really understand this disease, we need to know the genetics. Next slide, please. So this disease, this rare disease, luckily we know the genetic cause. It's one of the genes called the RBNAA. It's RNA binding protein motif AA, and this lack of this gene actually will lead to the disease. So normally it will cause the protein level reduce, and that eventually it affects through the whole development process. It will actually lead to disease. And how do we study this? Next slide. So we can so I'm sorry to bring this mouse talk. My daughter always says, oh, don't show the mouse, but mouse is our friend, actually. Rodent is our friend, actually. We need this as a tool for us to study human disorders because 80% of the genetic information similar to human, and also they grow fast. We can manipulate, we can mimic some of the disease symptoms using the rodent model. So in my lab, actually, luckily we are working on this gene, and that's why I want to show some of the progress we do see. That's fine. We can actually mimic some of the human deficit, like the bone deficit using the mouse model. We delete this gene in the mouse model, and we can see. You can see the bone actually get shorter, particularly the ears, and also we are doing some behavior tests on those animal model, so we can actually better understand how the deficit in the animal. Then further, we can actually develop a more strategy to rescue those deficits. All right. So next table is just show all. We can basically use this mouse model to mimic all the. Some of the bone deficit we can see in the patient. And next slide will show we have another model that's actually recently developed to mimic the platelet deficit. Why I show this is because before I talk to Jalen, actually I think the structure or the bone deficit is the major deficit actually patients think, patient actually has a difficulty. But after I talked to Jay, and he mentioned actually the thrombocytopenia actually have a even worse actually experience. I don't know whether that's for all of them, but definitely that's actually one direction. I think we are move forward. We make a new line and try to mimic the platelet deficit, and hopefully we can use this new model actually to really design better therapy. Okay, so the take-home message is that this is a very good rodent model that may recapture a lot of the phenotype in, similar to the TAR, but we will use that for the further research. Next, please. So we actually want to use more Here's actually just overall scheme for us. We are still in the border of the parameter. Hopefully we are doing more research to understand better of the TARC, the cause of TARC, and also the molecular mechanism. Once we get better understanding of the downstream and downstream event, we can design more new treatment, and hopefully we can get a better therapy for the patients. Right? So moving forward, hopefully we need to harvest the new technique, new strategy that we will use in the further therapy development. One is actually the human pluripotent stem cell therapy. This cell type actually can differentiate into all different type cells, particularly the progenitor cell for the bone, for the platelet. We can actually now culture those cells in the dishes. So in the future, we hope we can actually get a better therapy. So my dream is actually to just like use a pill to help a patient, to help the for TARC particularly. So that's why we need to work together. I believe this is not the dream actually we cannot achieve, but this is probably we need to work together in order to move this faster. Right? Okay. So I think this is the last slide. I really appreciate everyone to join this event, and also I think the strength is actually our community to support each other, to talk to each other. We should focus on our ability to what we can do, and not our limitation, right? Just like Amanda mentioned. So we are the God's glory. So I hope we can learn each other. Talk to me if you want. Actually, I really appreciate your input on our research, and by talking to each other, I can understand better of the disease. Right. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mao, for your extensive research. We appreciate you. When he was talking about the pill, all that is something that's interesting. That's something that we need to further figure this out, to reverse it. So thank you for all that you do for us. We appreciate you. Your work does not go unnoticed. So thank you. And if you would like a copy of those slides, I can send them to you. He did send me a PDF file of them. So if you would like a copy of his presentation, I can email that to you if you need. Just let me know afterwards. Our last speaker is going to close out the speaker segment for us is one of our team members, the one and only Chevy Price. Chevy is one of our co-founders of this great movement, not just the organization, but of this movement, TARC Syndrome Awareness Movement. She is one of our co-founders, and she is going to close out this segment.
Hi guys. Well, I am going to read a poem, as most of my career is I write poetry and stuff, and I wanted to write a poem as I know a lot of us go through this, but I want to take a different perspective on it. So here we go. Norm upon the eyes. Eyes are upon us when eyes are on them, within confusion on both. When they see short, we see long. Both seek diverse. They see disabled, we see able. Both are equally the same. The norm might be different, those eyes will be curious, but it's how we would look through the heart. We can't control those eyes, so why let them determine our eyes when we all are out of our norm? We use our eyes uniquely to us where we're uniquely made to seek each other's uniqueness. We might be a human T-Rex to them, they might be an octopus to us, but we all want the same vision. Visually to be equal in a world that seeks in, then out of a box. Some seek us extinct, some seek us rare, some seek us real. Those eyes might ask, those eyes might be hurtful, those eyes haven't been in our eyes. Our eyes seek approval within their eyes, when our eyes need our approval, where our eyes are the highlight of our life. Our eyes might have questions like theirs. Our eyes might ask, why are we a human T-Rex? Our eyes might not know, but will soon see through all calling of life. Our eyes seek life uniquely different, where we inspire upon those eyes, entwine, seeking that we're equal to theirs. Their eyes might be opinions, our eyes are defined by theirs. Those eyes are defined by what we make them. Eyes can come together, eyes by eyes, where eyes are loved by one another. I might ignore those eyes, but I want your eyes to seek the good in other eyes. Our world is trying to understand each other every day that has a story through them. Others might stare at you, but it's not a bad thing. It's their curiosity that sparks with questions. We're different from them that they can't comprehend in their brains. So why do we get mad when we want them to know the awareness of our disability? I stand here today to show it's okay to let them be curious, because it can start a conversation to spread awareness of TAR syndrome. And that is our goal every day, to be heard through our eyes, to feel less extinct in theirs. Growing up, I never seen people stare, because in my mind, I never thought I was different. I was just the unique Chevy that could do anything that sparked my normalcy in my life. Where cheer, being a volleyball manager, flying a plane, hunting a 24-pound turkey, and so much more defined my disability more than what I physically looked like. It should be the heart where you make others laugh with you before they laugh at you. Your mindset determines your look on others more than anything, because your worth is the most important thing to keep going in life. So when the next time you see someone staring, start that conversation to get known through their eyes. Thank you.
Thank you, Chevy. That's my co-signer right there. Chevy, we appreciate you. We thank you for all that you do for us. Chevy is not just a part of the team, but she is our social media specialist. She does our crafty work on social media, the flyers that you see, the creative posts that you see. Chevy is in charge of that. We thank you for what you do for us as the team. You're a big portion of the team. So I want to thank all of you who came out today, through the rain, through the shine, through the not rain. You made this event successful. And without all of you being here, this would not have taken place. So I want to personally say thank all of you for coming out. We will have lunch in just a few minutes. But we also be having a raffle. You ready? We're going to do a raffle, and then once we do our raffle, we'll be preparing for lunch. And once we get ready for lunch, they will direct you on how to move to get your food. But it's raffle time. If you want to put your name in the basket for the raffle, it's $5 a ticket. We still got a couple more left, so you still got time. Are you ready? So this one is for the UK basket. All the UK fans out there, you ready? So the winner of the UK basket is Rail Pasco. There he is, there he is, there he is. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Stay tuned, we got a couple more, so don't leave if you, how many we got? We got one more, and that is the kids basket. So if you want to participate in the children's basket, if you want your child to win this basket, I encourage you to put your name or your child's name in that box. $5 a ticket, y'all, $5 a ticket.